What's this podcast even about? Reality?
It's about reality, mindsets, principles,
Just the psychedelic experience.
pretty much.
Say, welcome to Blood Boys from
What?
Just started?
Yeah.
Alright. So,
But what were you saying about pro-life? Like, in reality,
we're going to talk about feminism, or the subject.
we'll get on with that as well, but we were just talking about, like, the
Pro-life.
choice, pro-life versus the right to abortion.
Yeah.
Like, in reality, like, abortion should be completely normal, because, like, it's more about, for me, it's more about the situation of the baby's going to be born into a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
Why would you bring them into a world when, you know, it's going to fuck up the kid's life
Yeah.
and also the parents' lives? So, like, in reality, if it's justified, then it should be.
That's like saying if a kid's born disabled and you end his life, how do you know the kid doesn't want to live regardless of his disabilities? Like, like that's like saying the kid's born a paraplegic and then you're saying to him, would you rather be dead? Just because you
Well, we can never know.
Yeah, I know. It's all up to individual circumstance. Like that kid, you know those kids that are born like that look like aliens? I forgot the disorder.
That new one?
No,
Is
like
it
the one,
Zika?
the one that they're small kids with a big head. And not that, like the one that they look like actual aliens. Like they're like this big and like they age, like when they're 30, they're like 80-year-old.
Yeah, is that Legionnaire's disease?
Probably, like that kid's talking on the TED show and he's saying like he can look at this as the biggest curse or the biggest miracle that he even survived to the age that he was. So like he looked at his life as a blessing and like that's the biggest fucking disorder. That's like a huge disadvantage in life. Like you're talking about a kid that might be born in government housing or what, like the girl's 16 or 17 and not ready to take care of responsibilities. But we don't even know that. That's a whole different issue. The issue that arose out of that was, does the man have a say in it? Like, if the woman wants abortion or not? It's bullshit how they're saying it's my body.
Yeah, that should be like the couple's choice. But then,
so what? You're carrying a woman around, a baby around in his womb for 8 months, so you have the right to abort, like kill the baby.
Yeah, it's definitely like a 50-50 thing because really it's both of their babies.
Maybe the woman just thinks that she'll end up taking care of the kids, but if it's like a stable relationship where like the man's going to be around and he should have a choice.
Yeah, it's very questionable because you're right. It's like it's about their body as well.
What if the guy's like just says he wants the baby and he fucking flees?
It's like he's born. So just to F her over.
It's past the point where you can terminate the baby and the cure escapes.
That's so fucked up.
On the note of that, you know, people like some guys where they bash the shit out of their girlfriends to cure them because they think that the baby that the girlfriend.
Oh, they think that they're pregnant.
And they bash the fuck out of the girl.
Has it ever happened where like it's a joke, but then?
What do you mean? Oh, whoa. Like
the girl's just joking and then she gets fucked up. And then in the end, in the hospital, she's like, it wasn't serious.
Probably. It's too late. Like the guy thinks that she's lying, but
like he's a psychomaniac. Yeah, like when she's saying I'm joking,
he
thinks it's only because he's like pounding her. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Well, on the top, we're talking about pro-life, but the whole topic's gonna be about feminism. But
yeah,
I guess I'm against feminism, but we have to discuss what feminism is.
Well, firstly, I was going to say, like, I wrote this
definition.
Kind of a disclaimer, but, like, so we can only display our opinions based on what we have perceived and experienced in life and the various influences that we are subject to. So no one individual has the right answer for all humanity. What's important is that we're here to discuss ideas openly and without prejudice to find what social structures create the most harmonious society. So, like, basically, what we're going to be talking about in this podcast is rape culture and the feminist view on it, and just from the get-go, we don't really agree, but we're just trying to facilitate debate. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was just watching a Milo guy, and he hates feminism, like a certain type of feminism. And when he's giving a speech at the university, like, what's that black movement called?
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Lives
the one that you
Matter.
linked to me. I was watching that
The
today.
guy, like, Milo's for knocking the people because every time he's trying to like have a proper debate, the Black Lives Matter and like even feminists, like they just start screaming.
They're ridiculous, man. They're children. They're like,
Yeah, I know. Well, you want to fucking hear what the guys to say so you can rebuttal, but these guys are just screaming over him. How
yeah,
shit is
like
they go nuts.
you wanna debate, you wanna discuss, and
Yeah, I
like,
know. Well, that's what I was talking about. If you're talking about religion with some people, they go nuts when you like they'll criticize, but then you can't criticize back, and they'll go nuts without like you feel like your life's in danger without even being able to like have a discussion.
yeah,
They get
exactly.
offended. But what were we saying? Yeah, well, what you were saying was that we can only base like our opinions off like the experiences that we've had in our lives. So I don't know. We mean no harm, but like we're hypocrites, and what do we? I mean, we contradict ourselves as we learn. So we might say something now, but then we'll go like we'll change our minds like maybe 2 weeks down the track or a year down the track or like years down the track. It's not. I don't know. We don't have like some sort of ego where we
Yeah, like that's the whole point of just like
learning.
humanity and society. Like we're meant to be like working together
Yeah,
to keep getting better.
yeah,
Like, everyone's meant to be working on their own self improvement, and we're meant to be working together as well.
but isn't that why you love arguing? I've naturally
Yeah,
always
exactly.
loved
Because it's funny, but
yeah,
yeah, you want to like arrive at new perspectives and see.
yeah,
Like when the people from like Black Lives Matter or whoever feminists, they're like shouting
yeah,
or like rejecting topics or like things become like personal attacks,
Yeah.
like just verbal abuse. Like they're completely avoiding the topic. The whole point of
yeah, I know.
like they're saying that they represent this one viewpoint,
Yeah,
and then they can't even talk about it. So
yeah, I know, I know.
the
That's
whole
like
thing, yeah,
It's like when you have an argument, or if I have an argument with my brother, or like arrogant people, or ignorant. Like it's like I'm talking. I think I'm talking about facts, but then they'll just talk. Their points are so stupid, and like it's like what they're saying has no meaning. They're just repeating the stupidest shit, and you're saying you feel like you're insane because it's like, why isn't this person understanding my message? Like,
Yeah.
you're talking from a logical point. They're just talking through like a completely emotional point. Like, they just want to win the argument. They think by yelling like they're winning.
yeah,
But like I'm just arguing because I'm learning that way. But they're trying to defend themselves, which is stupid.
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. That's people go from an emotional perspective, and like
Oh, yeah.
arguably, you'd say women who are more emotional creatures than men.
But if you say that to a feminist, she'll go nuts because they think it's a hierarchical structure where like both brains are the exact same, and like they think that hormones make no difference. Like they think that men have just created a structure where it suits men, like just because we have dicks and like.
Well, that's ridiculous. Because like
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, every instance of like women that I've met
Yeah.
in my life, it's obviously just from my own experiences.
But they can still justify that by saying they've just been conditioned to that. But a good example is like if you have two infants, like a boy will probably play with specific toys, and a girl will play with specific toys, and at that point they haven't even been conditioned.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. There's not really that many tomboys.
yeah. I don't know. I think they've done experiments with that with like the
With
children with
toys.
like
Yeah.
completely neutral room and stuff.
Well, it's like saying if you have so much testosterone, if you take steroids, you're so aggro. But if you take
Yeah.
fucking estrogen, I don't know, what would that make you? Lazy? Not lazy, because feminists got pissed.
No,
That,
I thought it generally makes them more
Emotional.
emotional. Yeah, like mood swings.
like some of our beta friends. How funny is that? Maybe
yeah,
we're gonna
but the
inject
point-
our friends with roids, the ones that have become beta. What's it called? Testosterone
Yeah.
therapy. What is it?
Hormone replacement.
Oh yeah, some shit like that. I think it's called THT, testosterone hormone
Hormone
therapy.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get some on that. But yeah, our point
But
is
yeah, well, what I was saying was like, it's generally like I think it's a general consensus. Like it should be a general
Scientific
consensus.
studies.
Yeah, that like women are more emotional than men. So wait, what was the point?
We can't say it's completely based off estrogen, but maybe the brains is large in different
I don't know what
areas.
it is. I'm just saying like that's from experience. That's what I think it is.
Well, probably it's like that. I mean, maybe before puberty, like men and like females and males are like more similar.
Yeah.
Like at school, you could have probably like when I was younger, I probably had more female friends, isn't it? It's easier to get along with them. But then when you hit puberty, not get along, like everything changes, like hormones. It's like you go to the extreme ends of the spectrum. Like one's male, like testosterone, one's estrogen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what was the original point about?
Oh, we're talking about how like the hierarchical structure. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, but there was something else. I don't know. Anyway,
rewind the video. No, I'm kidding. What?
But anyway,
we're talking about arguments and shit, but it just went off topic.
Oh yeah. What they like argue based upon, like they don't. Screaming and shit. Like they don't go through like a logical debate.
Yeah.
Because it's because like people are generally like they feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And they want that to be noted. They want to express that.
Yeah.
And rather than looking at things in a completely logical view, then simply like they'll base it on the emotion. Like I feel bad about, for example, I feel bad about how society portrays women, that they're sexual creatures because whatever, for like in all my experiences I haven't like lived up to that standard, to that image.
What do you mean sexual?
Like a woman might believe like, oh, you know, I don't fit into that sexual image portrayed by media, so like now I feel terrible about that because I haven't dated as many guys or whatever.
Men go through that as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, everyone goes through it, but then like that's just like an example of where that emotional argument might develop, you know.
What do you mean?
That like they have feelings about what's happening in their life, and then as a result, they completely reject those ideas of society. Like they're completely like saying, "Oh well, all this media stuff is bullshit." You know, body image is fine. It's fine to be fat. You know, stuff like that.
Like they go nuts if you say like, as in, if you're fat, you're not attractive. Like they're trying to push the fact, like the idea that being fat's attractive, and like, but in reality, they're just fucking unhealthy. Like
like I see. I would look at it as a logical perspective.
Yeah.
So like the models portrayed in the media, those whatever size 2 models, man, in reality they have serious eating disorders and they're smoking and like full, I don't know, bony structures. Like that's completely like all this fucked up. Like that's completely unhealthy.
But who said you might still be so attracted to a skinny like model girl? If we would never even see those types. If you see those ones that are like 6 foot tall and they're wearing high heels and like that. The best jaw structure. you'll be fucking claiming that shit.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like they might be attractive.
Yeah.
In anyone's eyes,
but they're not.
But like, the question is kids. like
that's like my cousin. She's like skinny, but then she had a cesarean. Like in the wild, you'd be fucking dead if it wasn't for medicine.
Yeah.
Or like advancement of medical. I don't know, but
when a girl says like, "Oh, it's okay to be fat," like,
isn't that just trying to like? It's like saying men are responsible for the image, the body image of females, when in reality, females are so harsh. Like females fucking kill each other. Like guys don't even do that. We might bash each other and then get over it, but females, I don't know. Apparently, the way, not taunt, but the way, what's the right thing to say?
Just like
the way
bullying and stuff.
Yeah, well, the way they bully each other is so much more damaging psychologically. But they're the ones that put that body image on themselves.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck makes the magazines? Guys aren't even in charge of women's magazines.
Oh, no, they're still.
How do you know?
They're still it's still happening. It's still an underground influence.
Yeah, but I don't know if a man's standing and saying this, like the designers are probably either gay or women.
No, but I think
Like the
I
guys
think-
are saying you make whatever makes money. Like Hugh Hefner just wants to fuck chicks. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like body size. I'm saying I don't know.
but it seems to be like, look, everything's directed towards what's most appealing in terms of like sexual nature,
I am.
and then like I don't know exactly how it is. You know, it's maybe like the media. I think the media might have been created
My man.
by men to into this image of women, you know, being like super skinny or something. That's like, oh, that's like the hottest women or whatever.
Wouldn't know that for a fact. I think that designers probably just chose skinnier women because maybe it's easier to work on. Like
Perhaps.
maybe the design of the outfits just works well when it's more slim.
That could be,
And then
yeah.
who takes the photos? Probably guys, but maybe the fact that it just looked better in photos made it like persuade more models. Like they pushed the idea that being skinny will make your photos look better, just photogenic wise, and wearing outfits.
That could be the case,
So like
yeah.
it might have just been a byproduct of just I don't know taking photos and all that crap. So it wasn't because men like, thought that's more attractive, but it just came out better on photos
Yeah.
and designing shit. I don't think guys are gonna be like, I want this. Why would guys even push that skinny thing? If they went into that room and saw bones like that, they'll probably get turned off.
That's
You
true.
guys just want big tits and big asses. You know what I mean? In school, you know, like there was hot. You know what's that girl? Like the blonde girl that like she's a mad model. Like
What
the
do you mean?
most
That's
fa-
like every
no,
girl.
the most
That's like
famous
everyone.
American like one.
Pamela Anderson.
No, like she's like our era model. Like she's got big tits.
Blonde girl.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah,
Model.
yeah.
I don't know,
Tell me
man.
the most popular girl models that you know. 3. Because I can't
Oh,
remember.
the ones that I know.
Yeah.
Adriana Lima.
Yeah.
Alessandra Ambrosini.
Give
or
me the
something
American
like that.
name. The American one. Not. She's not Spanish.
I'm trying to think.
She's like. She goes on. She's got so big racks.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Like she's blonde. She's got big racks, and she goes on advertisements for games.
What games? Like video games?
You know phone games. Like she's on one of those ads. Let's type American
forgot.
models. How do I do this?
You gotta like.
While I'm looking for her, I'm gonna say that she didn't really have big tits when she was young. And like
tab.
she didn't have big tits when she was young, like she didn't get attention from guys when she was young, but now she's the hottest.
I
girl
bet like
ever.
once you show her, I'll know who you're talking about.
Alright. Hopefully she pops up. Oh, Kate Upton.
Oh yeah, okay.
What the fuck is it's the third one up you mate.
Yeah, I know now.
I said American blonde big tits.
I don't know. There's so many.
Did she get breast implants that are natural?
I don't know.
Because apparently she was like one of the last ones in a class to be.
Anyway, what was your point?
My point was she had
Everyone, if you don't know who Kate Upton is, look her up.
She's got big jugs. My
Like-
point was that she was not. She didn't get any attention from the guys in the class, like probably the teens, but that's because apparently she had small tits.
Yeah.
And my point was, guys don't go for like skinny girls. I'm saying I find it hard. Well, like
Yeah,
they
but
do go.
I was gonna say like the thing about the girls being fat is okay. I think that's not a good thing to portray simply because of the health factor.
Yeah,
Like, it's the best
Yeah,
thing
I
to
know.
portray as being healthy,
yeah.
which is like, I don't know,
Well,
good diet
the
and
last one-
exercise.
The last thing we want to promote is fucking obesity.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like it's already repulsive.
Yeah,
What's
like
wrong with saying it's fucking bad? Like people get offended, but it's the fucking reality. Like you want to take action, not just be like happy with. Like,
exactly.
fucking-
Like the thing is, you need to get your priorities straight in life.
yeah,
Health is like pretty much number one.
yeah.
For
That's stupid.
myself. And then work, and
Yeah.
then family and all that, and relationships, and like the thing is, so many people prioritize
Yeah.
money, work.
Yeah.
Like they might not say it, but they do.
Yeah.
That do you go to the gym every day? No, but do you go to work every day? Yes.
Well, the thing is, what the fuck? It's like a drug addict. You're never gonna sort of encourage them to be drug addicts. But when you're a fucking lard ass like feminist is saying it's alright, but guys don't even have that issue. Like it's only girls. How weird's that?
Yeah, I
But,
don't know.
like guys still struggle with like I don't know body like image.
They
Like,
do. They
like
do.
there's guys that don't wear fucking. They don't take their shirts off at the beach, and like even like if I was skinny, then like, you, it's like you can't buy clothes. Like you don't really go out as much because you don't feel as confident. But then you take action, or you can choose to stay like that.
Yeah, it's like I'd like to use a female perspective on that, but you know what is the typical
yeah.
response to fears and worries? It's quite individual and like yeah, I don't think you'd say that's gender based.
But that's like saying, you know, how females are saying feminism is like a hierarchical structure.
Yeah.
Just the fact that women can't handle that means that, like, it's already disproving that idea that it's a hierarchical structure because it's showing that they're more emotional because, like, they can't handle body image.
Rather than
Because, like, rather than, like, men don't have that issue as much where, like, you can say to a man, you're a fat fuck, like, get into shape and, like, it might affect him, but like you might take action, whereas a woman might be more prone to like become suicidal or more depressed.
that's
Like
that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair call. I
like
think.
I can say to my brother, like you fucking skinny bastard, but imagine your sister's skinny and like you say it to her, like you'll fuck her up so bad.
Yeah, they really like would
Take
dwell on it, and
Isn't that how they get bulimia and shit?
I think that's a reasonable call.
How funny is that guys just go to the gym and get swollen, girls full vomit their guts out, but one's like both are bad. But I mean, like if you go to the gym and take steroids and like start to like fuck up your body, then that's bad. But guys usually take action like in a proactive way. But girls have more body image issues. But they're trying to say that we've caused that because they're under more pressure than us because they're viewed as sexual objects. Whereas like fat fucks, like today at the wharf, there's this obese cunt, and like he's with a like Swedish girlfriend, and she's skinny, but she had all acne and shit. So she could have, they might have been on the same level, but the guy was so fat, like, if, like you'll be like, how the fuck did this guy get the girl? But like just the fact that he got the girl shows that girls are like willing to probably be more acceptable of body image. So maybe like they have more pressures than us.
Well, it's interesting. Like from my experience, like generally, yeah, like their view of their own body image
Yeah.
is like
Oh, yeah.
really bad. Like when a girl has a bad view of her own body image,
Yeah.
it's like really bad.
Yeah.
Like I knew like one really hot girl, and like it's obvious like she's getting so much attention from so many guys, but deep down in her own image of herself was so negative. It was like very low self-esteem.
But isn't it if you find a goth or some shit that's hot, like, and then like they fucking people prey upon their weaknesses. But your idea is like if you find a girl that's weak, it's like if the girl's strong, then alright, but it's harder for you to compliment like her weaknesses. Like if you find a girl that's suffering from like those self-conscious issues, then you think that I can step in and like make her stronger. Because like if you see her as like being so high and she sees herself as ugly, like that's a win for you because it's easier for you to maybe like
Yeah, like you think
impress
that.
her,
Yeah, like
make her feel better. But like
Yeah.
the truth is like she's already good, but she might have fucking flawed issues. Like there's someone in our class like that. You remember?
yeah, yeah.
The point was, the point is like to us she was pretty good, decent. Like even a girl said to me that she had the best body like from a lot of chicks, and like she at that time she was suffering fucking big time body image issues. Instead of taking action, like they get fucking down the drain. But she
Yeah,
probably
like-
recovered.
Like I would like look at my own image and I'll be like, okay, like yeah, when I realized like I was like
Yeah.
pretty like unhealthy in high school or whatever,
Yeah,
then I was like, okay, time to like
take
work
action.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you're not gonna like
Yeah.
achieve anything by thinking bad of yourself at the end of the day.
I know. That's why like sometimes it's like I fucking give my brother a reality check, but instead of driving him, I don't know why. Some people get demotivated, but to me it's like you wanna get further away from the starting point. So say you're fat or you're skinny, like every day that goes past and you're taking actions a day further from the beginning.
Yeah, it's all a question of individual approach. Like,
Yeah, I know.
for everyone else out there, I'd say the key thing is to look at things in the long term.
Yeah,
Like, if you want something to change, body image,
yeah,
you have to say, okay, I'm starting,
yeah.
a journey for the rest of my life. This isn't going to be, let's do this for a few months or a year and then I'll see changes and I'll be sweet. It's not even about that.
It's like Chris.
Yeah, it's about you start adding things into your life, into your regular life, making it normal, things that improve yourself and
Yeah,
so slowly you say, okay, I'm going to do 10 pull-ups when I wake up in the morning.
yeah.
And you just do that every day and
You
you
can't
slowly,
straight away.
yeah. All you can do is work on something in that moment. You can't say, you can't control what you're going to do tomorrow. You can't control what you're going to do in 10 years.
I agree.
You just got to start slowly.
Well, if you it's like saying, when you look at Chris, and the guy's fucking they said 2 months, right? Like, he's already getting so hyped up. Like, if you see a couple of small results, it's like if I trade on the stock market, it's like, say you have a couple of good days and you have a really shit day. Like, you put so much emphasis on those couple of good days, so then when you have a really shit day, the low is so fucking low that it feels like it's so hard to get back up. And it's like even gym, say, it's like you get so excited just because for 2 months you've been training good and then you fuck up and you put a couple of kilos on it. It's so hard to bounce back because you put so much emphasis on the idea of it being something, I don't know, some not attainable goal, but something like a big reward when it should just be part of your life.
Yeah.
Training or anything like that, just it's part of my life. Don't get too excited. It's like when we try to pick up girls, when you put so much emphasis on, it becomes more of a fucking a responsibility.
Exactly.
It's liability. Liability instead of fucking fun. And
exactly. Yeah.
You start to despise it.
I agree with that. It should be exactly like I said. You need to incorporate it into your life as a lifestyle. It's something you do. It's not okay. I have to do all these things to get here.
And it's fucking, you gotta progress. You don't start fucking benching 200 kilos. You start 50 kilos and 60. If you're gonna, I don't know, sort of go to the extremes end of it and try to do everything at the beginning, you're never gonna make it. You start small and then every day try to push yourself a bit more and a bit more. But what the fuck's this have to do with body image?
This is how you fix body image. This is the right approach. It's not to be emotional and to fucking, I don't know, go and vomit your guts out.
Well, the point was, I think we're trying to say that girls and guys look at it in different ways, but at the same time, guys are this guy's saying, Gavin McInnes is saying guys are pigs. They don't care if a girl's fat, skinny, or whatever. They're gonna still fuck her. There's someone gonna be ready to fuck her, and girls might be more picky. For a guy to get a girl, they have to be at the same level of social standards, whatever, social level. But if the guy's lower than the girl rejects him. But a guy can be 10 and he might still go for a 7 out of 10 girl. So what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is guys aren't that picky. It's that girls are more stringent or
in terms of what?
we're trying to say that girls have more pressure on them because guys have created some structure.
Yeah, because
body
if you're not in this one image, you're not gonna have a boyfriend or whatever.
But what I was trying to say is guys don't give a fuck. Guys will go for anything they can get. So
that's true.
It's more the guy might be on that end.
Balance out in the end. Balance out.
Yeah, well, the guy might be more. It's look how many guys have low confidence levels because they feel skinny next to another guy and they think girls judge them and it's girls get hit on every single second of the day. Their fucking confidence level is probably through the roof compared to a guy. A guy's the one that's getting rejected. A guy's the one that has to do that approach. A guy's the one that probably has self-esteem issues. A girl, it's probably easier for a girl to feel more empowered.
But see, the thing is, how empowered would a girl feel when she's the one getting approached all the time, but she doesn't have any experience or confidence or expectation by society to approach the guys that she likes.
But
what
do you mean?
that
Like I know what you're saying, but at the end of the day, she's gonna get when guys hit on her, she'll get a bigger head, and plus girls never hit on guys. It doesn't work like that.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's not. It's a tricky like play between like self-esteem and like confidence. You know.
Yeah. Well, what are we trying to say exactly?
Like that. Like when so many guys are like asking one girl out, it might give her a big head, which is like, you know, it might increase her self-esteem, but then that could be bad.
Because why?
Because then it could be like just ego, and then she becomes picky or whatever, and she like.
Well, that's a mental disorder.
Yeah.
Well, the point is, how come guys don't become like that? Because they don't get hit on by 100 girls.
Yeah, exactly.
If a guy don't hit on by 100 girls, he'll fucking care less. You know what I mean? He'll start walking around his boxes and Dan Bilzerian.
It'll be like it's the most normal thing.
Like guys will be like, fuck this, I'm sick of chicks. Like they'll care less about themselves because they'll feel way more entitled.
Yeah.
You don't see a guy getting more self-esteem issues when he's getting more girls.
That's true.
And he automatically attracts more girls to come talk to him.
That's true.
But we're just trying to say, I think girls are more. I don't know if it's about guys, but maybe it's because girls, they're a depreciating asset. Like in the sense, in the looks department, where they get older, they get like they can be replaced by a 20-year-old.
Well, there's that fear, and see, that's the whole thing. That's what we're talking about. It's like this social structure of like.
Well, I don't know if it's a social structure.
Is body image even that important? You know.
Well, like in the end of the day,
it's only one part.
Like if we break it down to the simplest form, it's a man and a woman, and the woman's like a vehicle to reproduce.
Yeah.
And like the man's picking the best fucking women for his offspring. So like naturally, like probably like I don't know, centuries ago, like the guy would have 100 wives, and like he'd always have newer, younger women, and like he'll just keep breeding. So like naturally, maybe they feel insecure because they become less important. But I don't know if that's a social structure. Like a guy's gonna get killed. Like a guy has to get to battle to win a woman over. So like. And one guy might get decapitated. So where's the fucking equality in that? Like one guy's getting like you get replaced, but like a woman might get replaced and a man dies in war, like fighting for the woman. Like it's a trade-off. You know what I mean?
Like both things.
You never see a woman saying, "I'm gonna fight for a man." Like you know, like they do, but like that's rare. Like I don't know. It's just two different fucking things. Like. I'm just saying it's not a hierarchical structure. It's more like
I know. I just think it's like there's so much focus on body image. That's the thing. Like, imagine if the world was different and all the focus of media would be like, oh, women have to be like this personality. Oh, well, that's actually how it was before. Women being portrayed as like servants. Yeah. You know. Kind of like, oh, they have to be super girly and they have to be like proper, you know, like that Elizabethan kind of image.
But how do you know?
Like that's what that was portrayed as, like
higher than looks.
Oh, I don't know if it was necessarily higher than looks, but I just mean like, think about it. That was portrayed as like this is the perfect woman in their time, in the media of their time. Who the fuck's
saying that? The men are making that the way it is.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know who's behind it exactly.
We've got to talk to someone that knows.
Yeah.
I don't think fucking men are doing that, mate. Like, at school, when girls fucking bully each other around, some guys are saying gotta be like this. It's like, the guys never even guys don't even bully the girls. Like, the girls fuck each other over. Like, they're just creating their own circles of what's acceptable and what's not.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe one girl gets more attention from the guys and like the other girls fuck her over. I don't know. But all I'm saying is it's not like guys are like being bullies and like, I don't know,
but see, okay, whoever it is saying it, feminist or not, they're saying that they want to break down this focus on body image. I guess that's what they mean by when they're saying, oh, it's okay to be fat. But it shouldn't be like your statement, your slogan shouldn't be it's okay to be fat. It should be body image is an irrelevant thing. Yeah, body image is irrelevant. and it like this whole
But what do you mean it's irrelevant? I know it's irrelevant.
because the whole thing about it's like what should be important in a relationship. It should be like that the both the people are attracted to each other.
Yeah.
So I think if you have a deeper emotional connection,
Yeah.
if you can kind of like, you have in jokes and like you can crack up together and like talk about interesting things. You're both interested in the same things and you're talking about it and doing it as well.
Yeah.
You can kind of like, basically like if.
Well, that's like what the couple was like today. That fat guy and the girl. It's like they were laughing and like they were hooking up and shit and like fishing together, but they were having a good time. Like
that's the important thing. And then what is the body image? Like matters less, or like that's an issue for them to decide. Like if they're both really into fitness and health, then of course they're both going to be really hot or whatever by like today's standards. Yeah.
What you're trying to say is it's like it's not about the image. Like don't put like it's like the woman's putting emphasis on the image. Like they're trying to say that guys are trying to promote this fucking body image thing. But what you're trying to say is. It's more than that. Like maybe men already understand that, but women don't. Like you're trying to say don't try to promote being unfit, but don't put emphasis on body image. Like focus on something else.
Yeah, like what was that crap they were watching about the slut walk festival thing?
Oh yeah.
Like the girls are just, I don't know what they're trying to represent. Like they're portraying themselves as sluts or like
they're trying just to like say that. They're trying to like say that. That they have the right to look like a slut. Just because you're wearing like slutty clothes, it doesn't give you the right to fucking catcall and like try to hook up with them. Or they think that makes you rape them. Like that gives you an excuse to rape them. Or like
I don't know.
That just because they're wearing that doesn't mean that they're fucking saying come and rape me.
Like the state of the world now and society and all that, it's like.
That's Western culture. It's
this is all Western. You got to put that disclaimer in.
Yeah, I know Western, but yeah, what are you saying?
But like the state of society now, it's like when you're doing that, I feel like they're perpetuating the whole thing about body image. They're like they're doing the exact opposite message.
Well, how funny is that? It's like, isn't that like with the Black Lives Matter thing? Like they're going so nuts that like. They don't know what the fuck to do, so they're doing the most extreme actions, and like they're doing something that's so stupid and not like it has no meaning, and like they just want to get some sort of reaction. Isn't that what the slut walk is?
I guess so.
Like, it's like when you're shouting at like someone when they're trying to have a conversation with you. Then what the fuck are they trying to like even portray, represent? Like the idea of what they're trying to represent is so diluted.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know.
Like what? All right. If they want to help the cause for women, or like if the Black Lives,
that'll be a sick place to go.
Like if they want to help the cause, why don't you work on creating like support groups and stuff like that? There's women's legal services, domestic violence clinics, stuff like that. There's so many like real support organizations that they're not just there to talk shit and like be like, oh, these are the issues and like just talk rubbish. They're actually doing work where they're targeting the issue. They're taking action.
Well, I have two things to say. First of all, if there's any slut walks in Sydney, let us know. We want to go there. We'll be the first supporters. And then secondly, with what you're saying, so people that have actually been raped go nuts at these bullshit feminists because it's like they're taking away, like they're making it less important or more of a joke, like rape, because it's like those people are putting themselves in the same category as people that have actually been people break into your house and fucking I don't know, put you against the ground and rape you like against your will, but that's a completely fucking different thing. Like
like they're trying to equate it. They're trying to say, catcalls are and like other things are just as damaging. Or like,
like it's like just saying that it's like if you like honk your horn at like girls walking and like they look at that as offensive, like they'll call you a rapist. But then if those girls say that to a girl that's actually being raped, that girl will go fucking nuts because it's like she'll be like, what the fuck are you on about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I thought of something I was going to say earlier. So the thing about body image, that's like Alright, that's the first thing that we basically see when you meet someone else, you know, their physical appearance.
You make
So
a judgment.
So that's like, I guess that's the easiest way for media and advertising to like sell products and stuff like that by targeting that first instinct kind of reaction that you get in life.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it shouldn't be the case.
Well, what's wrong with that? Like, that's just the way the fucking world works. Like, what the fuck do women want? Change the fucking basic instincts of humans. Like, men fucking look for looks, women look for money. Like, when you walk up to a girl, she's judging you based on what you're fucking wearing. Are you a poor bastard? Like, what kind of social skills do you have? Like, you're being judged just as much as you judge a girl based on her looks. Like,
okay, that's alright. That's true. What I was gonna say is, like, when someone's catcalling and stuff, they're basically appreciating one aspect of your life. You know?
Well, you're just saying the girl's fucking hot. Like, there's no need to be pissed.
Exactly. Like if that girl's gone to...
They're shaming. Like, they think that's shaming. This guy on Red's book philosophy, like he hates feminists, and anyway, like, he's driving down the road and, like, he records this, like, woman in, like, tights, and, like, she's wearing, like, short tights, and, like, her ass cheeks are hanging out, and, like, he's saying, what the fuck, if this isn't, like, trying to encourage rape, like, what the fuck is, like, she's pretty much running with that, like, naked. But his point was, like, catcalling, whatever, like, he would have catcalled, like, he's saying, like, that's what you're trying to promote, like, and then, like, if you do that, then the girl goes nuts.
I think it's
not promoting rape, but that was the wrong thing to say. I think he was trying to promote, saying, like, a fucking catcall, like, that's, like, men will go nuts when they see that.
Yeah, like, that's what I was gonna say. Like I think both sides are to blame. So, like, if a girl's running in tights, and but a guy goes and
nuts, like, because they're saying I can wear whatever the fuck I want, like, and
I know, like, you can, but then, like, just be aware that you're creating sexual arousal with any guy that, like, sees you. Like, that's, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Like,
so you're just a human being.
Yeah, like
a sexual organism. Is that right?
Exactly. Like, we're animals at the end of the day.
Joe Rogan's laughing and he's saying how fucked are humans. Like, he's saying we're so primitive that, like, we've got an organ, and, like, it's like the only way to create babies is to, like lose all control of, like, your basic logical rational mind, and, like, you just screw, and that's how you make a baby. Like, say that's how you fucking and then get, like, you didn't even want the girl to be pregnant, but now she's pregnant. You're saying, like, how dumb are humans? Like,
oh yeah, like, at the end of the day, it's an organism that like, it's this whole system is designed so that like, your sexual thoughts take over, just so your whole species reproduces.
But I think that's probably more based back in the days when the population's so low. So, like, they need to promote, like, reproduction in the best way possible. Isn't that, like, how, and then infidelity and all that shit happens?
See, this is the thing now. Like, our species has evolved so much that we have such intelligent brains. We need to, like, manage that. It's not about... we don't need to deny it. Like, that's a part of us as well.
Well, people go to fucking war to conquer women, so how funny is that? Like, people are willing to risk their lives. You know? Well, like, now, like, what you're saying, we don't need to like, operate on that system anymore.
Yeah, like the thing is, that's a part of our humanity. Like, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, when like, a couple's, I don't know, having, like, sex and they're having the best time, like, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but why can't you? He's saying that's good, but why does it mean that you have to reproduce that way?
Yeah, but exactly. Like, the thing is, we need to manage it in such a way with our, like, social structures or whatever. It's
how funny if, like, men, like, there's just busted nuts in those ejaculation places. I don't know what sperm banks, and, like, then they cut them, like, they make themselves sterile, so, like, whenever they want to impregnate a woman, they just get that. You know what I mean?
That's so it becomes up.
But, like, if you cheat on someone, like your wife, because you feel like fucking another woman just for the sexual arousal, then you've just destroyed a complete relationship,
Yeah, exactly.
like a home,
But
but whatever.
well, what was I gonna say? Like we need to use our brains and like our intelligence to just to manage that, and it's
Wait,
it's like the argument what I was
yeah,
saying, like we're not animals anymore. We're not
yeah,
gonna like die if you don't
yeah,
reproduce. Like our species is not gonna die, or you're not gonna die out if we don't reproduce. So when you see that girl running in tights,
yeah.
like you have the intelligent system to control yourself
Oh yeah,
from not raping her.
yeah. How
You're
funny!
welcome to like go, like we have this society now. You can go up to her and talk to her
How funny!
and see if she's interested.
How funny that people used to rape. Like it's not funny, but the funny part is you
It's
can't
it's
control your
funny that
emotions.
it's funny that that was a thing. Like
Yeah, I know. Well,
like what like that's ridiculous.
this guy, you know, like Cowspiracy, the guy made himself sterile because he's saying like it's his duty as a human being not to reproduce because he's saying the world's fucked. Like he's saying at this current level we can't even support like humanity with the amount of food that we have without fucking up the planet. Like at least like by consuming meat and stuff. And he's saying like there's no fucking way anyone should be having kids anymore. But
That's a very fair point.
but isn't
I
that
think,
nuts? Like
but I think
not nuts in the sense that like it's like everyone wants to have kids, but imagine you saying I'm not gonna have kids because it's irresponsible.
that's very interesting. But like that's questionable because it's like if you're responsible and you're thinking that way, and you know you have ideas to your purpose, your life purpose is basically I want to improve this world.
Yeah.
Your children, if you teach them that, they can like go far and they can be people that create change.
No, he's not. He doesn't need to influence people. Like his kids, like he's already influencing thousands of people.
Well, that's a very fair call as well.
Yeah, I know. It's not. If he has fucking kids, he's probably like gonna consume all this time. Like he might not be able to.
Yeah, like you're putting it into them to act.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're putting your time into whatever projects you're working on, which can influence a lot more people.
How the fuck did we? You say we got off a tangent.
Yeah.
What's the tangent mean? Like some other branch?
Yeah, we've gone off on a tangent.
Oh yeah, we've gone off.
But let's go back. I just wanted to bring up one pretty important point. What do you think, Pat, about situations where two people are drunk and they have sex with each other, and would you say that is some kind of rape by the man?
What do you mean? But if oh, that's bullshit. Like it's like saying if a woman drinks and drives, and is she gonna fucking? Can she not take responsibility just because she's drunk? Like she's gonna still be fucking punished by the court of law. Like she knew what the fuck she was doing.
Yeah,
So
that's
like, how can you use that as an excuse? Like it's like if you have hierarchy, all that bullshit hierarchy structure. Like if you're a woman and it's not based off emotions and all that crap, then like how can you not take as much responsibility as the guy? Like the only fact is that you have less power. To, like if the guy's holding you down.
Yeah.
But
That's why I was thinking about it. So like, if both people are drunk,
yeah,
and they have sex, and then the next day, like she regrets it or he regrets it or whatever, it's
but the
you
judge
can't
will
call
laugh at
that. Yeah, like you can't call that rape, or you can't be so angry because like the blame is equal. Like,
but have you ever heard of girls that go nuts because of that?
yeah,
And they actually like people that you know.
yeah, they think it's completely wrong that a guy picks up a girl just because she's drunk.
But what the fuck? Women are more manipulative than guys. Like that, they plan like shit way further down the track. Like a guy thinking what the fuck happens tomorrow, but a girl's she's a mastermind of like for orchestrating this entire plan for like months, years. Someone saying they like make you get married and then like it's a big trap. But and my point was like a woman's more emotionally intelligent. Like they can probably play with your emotions better. So what the fuck kind of bullshit's that? Like she's probably more aware of what the fuck's just about to happen. Like she's the one that's gonna say yes or no. Like
that's very fair. That's very true.
like there's pickup artists. Like the girl's resisting, but then she'll maybe she's testing the guy, and then she goes with the flow. Like, who the fuck knows? She might have said like, if he persuades me enough, then I'll go.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair enough. Yeah,
how-
it's like they're saying either consciously or subconsciously
Yeah.
if the guy fits this mold, you know, or if he's like
Yeah.
such a hard worker and so passionate,
Yeah.
then I'll go with
Give
him.
in.
Yeah,
I'll surrender.
and then she's waiting for them to prove that.
But what the fuck we're trying to say
But
is
like
that
what I was saying about the drunk thing is like,
responsibility.
so the responsibility is on both people.
Yeah, I know.
You can't
But
like the
isn't
girl
that
can't
what
be
the law
angry at the
says?
guy.
Isn't that what the law says?
The law is like it's saying like, oh, if both people are whatever, if the girl says no,
Intoxicated.
if the girl withdraws consent at any point, then sorry, if either party withdraws consent at any point and the other party continues with sexual acts, then that's rape.
But
That's sexual assault.
if she just says no, even jokingly,
Well, then it's very contextual. That's why it's a very difficult area because you're looking at two people's accounts, and it's very, very difficult to prove who's saying the truth.
but if a girl's saying no, she'll probably start crying over nuts. But she might just follow with it, just because it might become awkward. How funny is that?
There's a lot of things like that. There's situations where they might not want it anymore, but then they'll just be like, oh well, I'm not gonna like try and stop and get beat up or something. I'll just like do it and whatever.
What the fuck? How funny is that shit? It's like they're so terrified at that moment. It's not funny. It's funny. The idea of the entire thing's funny. Where like a girl might be in so much fear, like so she's just going through with it.
Yeah,
But-
it's ridiculous.
But a guy might not like. For a guy, that'll have no impact on him. But maybe a girl gets psychologically fried after that. Like
Yeah,
she loses so much confidence and like she's so nervous.
Could do. But see, this is what I'm trying to bring to light. Like when the girl goes into this whatever club or bar and like consciously starts drinking,
Yeah.
like she's consciously like losing control of her own self, like
Yeah.
of her inhibitions and whatever, and like
But the girl's gonna say like, I mean, I'm as entitled as a guy to fuck up, like have fun. But
Yeah,
it's
but-
bullshit, mate. They're really stripping away responsibility and
yeah,
then,
like you
their
can't blame
inhibition.
yourself by putting yourself into a situation
Yeah.
where you've lost your inhibitions.
Yeah.
Like the guy could say the same thing and could be like, oh well, in like normal
Is that good
sober day,
self-defense?
not really. Intoxication is not very good.
I mean, if the girl comes up like with that, then can the guy just say I was intoxicated, so I couldn't even understand what she's saying?
Right? Like you. Well, see, I'm saying like, oh, the guy's intoxicated, so he loses his judgment,
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh, okay, whatever. That girl's hot. Let's like try and pick her up.
What if
You know?
she's saying no and he's just about to bust the nut, so he just keeps going.
Hello.
Oh, we're just talking. We're just talking about a podcast about feminism. We're trying to create a radio channel thing, and like, we're just trying to discuss issues, and then I don't know. We wanted to get good hosts on the show, or like audience. So like, we thought this is a good way to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, what if your car gets splat?
Alright.
I guess we can just.
Good idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Why not?
Sober and they're manipulating or exploiting a drunk girl, that's wrong. But I don't know if I would go as far to say that's rape and that they're criminally liable.
How's it wrong? Isn't it just a game? Like picking up chicks, like a girl plays their own emotional
Well,
games.
but it's like manipulation in a sense that like you're making someone do something. It's like the question of
What do you mean if they're drunk?
okay, look, it's like saying you make someone really high or drunk, and then you get them to sign like a legal document, and that's like whatever, transferring assets to your bank account.
Yeah.
Like
But who knows that fucks you up so far.
that's the thing. It's a question of what's the damage
Yeah.
caused by the consequence.
Yeah, I know. What's the damage? if you sign up something like that, you worked 5, 10, 20 years of hard work every single day. A girl getting bucked, who the fuck knows what that is? It's just pleasure, like and like a structure where like people, this guy's saying guys call girls sluts because if a guy gets rejected like by a girl, then he gets infuriated and he has nothing else to say, so he just calls her a slut in the hope that like other guys won't go near her. So like it's just a mechanism, and like that just unfortunately like people just view like the slut as a bad thing. Maybe because maybe you carry diseases, but it's what's so fucking wrong about a girl like opening her legs on a consistent basis? Like who said? Wouldn't even know if that's unhealthy. Porn stars have a more emotionally stable lifestyle, but maybe that's due like to a numerous amount of reasons. But who the fuck said? It's like if you're not talking about equality and shit, then what's so wrong about like screwing a girl?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like they can't say, or they can't like
my body's more sacred.
use the law. Yeah, they can't use the law to
how bullshit is
that kind of thing. Like
they're trying to claim that the body's more sacred.
Yeah, it's.
But maybe it
like
is.
The consequence is like regret. Like that's up to them to like regret it, or like if they're emotionally like hurt by it, then like that's just like a really individual personal thing. You can't like expect the law. You can't live in like a fucking nanny state where every little thing, every little emotional harm is regulated.
Well, that's the whole thing's screwed. It's like saying you can't bring that up as like he took advantage of me. 'Cause it's like saying if you're a smart person, then in the workplace you're gonna use your smartness as a tool like to get ahead of the game. Like it's just because you're smart doesn't mean you should be penalized. Like if a guy uses good tactics and wins over a girl, like he's using what like Mother Nature gave him. It's like a girl uses the beauty as like an illusion to get people, like a rich guy to marry her, for example, or like the best of the best to go for her. So like, how the fuck is someone using manipulation is just another tool? Like, isn't wealth manipulation? Isn't looks manipulation?
Yeah, exactly.
And the point was like, what's like you got manipulated to sleep with someone, but like, so what? It's not like what like the fuck's dignity? It's just a
regret it. It's a mistake, and what like you learn from the mistake. It's just a life lesson that you need to take on.
How bullshit you gotta compensate? Like they want compensation.
Yeah, it comes down to what we were saying before. Like, what's your approach to life and like individual improvement? Like, are you gonna look at that event and of regret and just like wallow in your sadness and like be like, oh, like my life's fucked, or take that as a life lesson?
Why's your life fucked? Like, you just because you might be called a slut.
Well, whatever. I'm saying like that's like a bullshit approach.
But aren't they just if they feel shit, it's more like they're disappointed in themselves. Like it's like say you got rejected by a girl or whatever, and then you try to hit her up again, and you said that you're not gonna do it, and you feel shit because it's like you let yourself down. So if a girl fucks up and gets manipulated, like she knows the end game, but then she feels shit that she let herself down, but then she tries to put on the guy. Like she'll try to press charges, for example, to say that like it wasn't my fault. Like it's like they alleviate themselves of responsibility. How funny is that?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
How bullshit. But what the fuck? This like we can talk so much things and use it like excuse after excuse for everything. So like it's just all about perspective.
Yeah, it's how you approach life, how you approach your mistakes and regrets, and how you look to improve.
Well,
I was gonna say something else about. Okay, so that's the one argument against, but to like balance the argument, I do think it's obviously very, very wrong for a man or a woman to forcefully like commit sexual acts or whatever when the other person does not consent. Like there's a fine line there's some grey areas, but like that's definitely right. Like when a guy's like when the girl's clearly whatever drunk or even sober, and she's saying like, "No, I don't want to sleep with you."
I have to say something about this. Like,
wait, let me finish, and then he forcefully like with like physical strength or whatever, or like aggressively holds her down and has sex with her. Then okay, that's rape, and that's criminally. You deserve criminal responsibility.
Well, like
because that's like. two guys might be in a boxing match, consensually, but then if someone punches someone else on the street, like that's not consent.
Well, this guy on Facebook, like he was in my class, fucking wherever I went to school, a public school, and then anyway, one of the guys that you know as well, like his friend's having a party, his girlfriend, and then this was like 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, 2 weeks. Anyway, so like all these guys I know them, and like the guy's girlfriend's having a party. I don't know the girlfriend. And then anyway, like I was invited, but I didn't go. A lot of people were, and then this guy's girlfriend and him are like knocked down in bed drunk, and like the girl's half awake, and like this fucking guy in my class, like he goes upstairs, and like it's like I never liked this guy anyway. Like, you know when you like someone or you don't, like just it's like maybe it's because he didn't. It's like you know when people don't understand you like the way you think, so then you tend not to like them anyway.
Yeah.
Or like at least you don't have that friendship because you don't see eye to eye. So he goes upstairs and then she's half knocked down. He's pretending to tuck her in bed, and then he starts like putting his hands on her tits, and like the boyfriend's knocked down in bed next to her, and like and then like it's not a laughing matter, but we're just laughing at how crazy some people are. And then anyway, he starts like putting his hands down her pants, and like she starts like resisting, and then she starts like fucking snapping out of like her drunken state, and then she starts screaming, and he runs out of the room, and then an hour later he comes back, or like half an hour, and he's pretending like that never happened, and like he's pretending to like just like take care of her, like we'll make sure that she's alright in bed. And then the most fucked up thing is like this all happened right, and then she like the girl made a status about this on like Facebook saying like in detail, like it was like nearly an article long about what the fuck happened or transpired at the party, and then the boyfriends were like tagging him in there, like saying like this scumbag that we knew. Yeah, and now we know who it is, but the point is that's just fucked up. Like that's isn't that like rape?
It's sexual assault. It's like
whatever.
Like
same
like,
shit. If he could take it further, then he would.
Yeah,
but the point was that's fucking completely wrong.
It's like the same thing as like some random just walks up on the street and starts putting their hand in your pants and grabbing your balls. Like no one, you don't want that to happen. You might like it, you might not, but like generally, if you don't like it, then like you have your right to like have that person held liable.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know what's fucking right and what's wrong. These people are fucking arguing about the bullshit thing. I think it just comes down to like alleviating social responsibility as the main like the common factor.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, we haven't even ate dinner or anything. Anyway.
Well, on that note, we gotta get a feed.
I've gotta say something. Well, whatever we talked about today is just like idea provoking, but this shit's so grey, like it's not black and white. So we're gonna talk to a couple people on different like ideas or perspectives on the matters, and like just try to shed more light on it.
Yeah. We'll try and get in some more opinions and see what other people think about these issues. Like
right now, I'm against feminism, like the extreme one, like where like all that rape culture and all that bullshit. Like I think I don't know, Western society has it so good. Like you go to like a Middle Eastern country or some third world country, like women can't even drive cars, or like they have whatever. Not burqas aren't a form of thing, but like it's still like man and woman. So like
it's very separate.
In a way, like if they don't like agree to that, then that's not equality. So like equality is more about like I don't know. It's so simple things like women get shot in some countries when the man commits rape, or like the man commits adultery or some crap, and like the woman talks against it, so she gets shot, or she might commit adultery and she'll get shot, but that's freaking feminism. Like that's what they should be fighting for, equality.
Yeah.
Not fucking
like real, like stopping real oppression, not micro oppression. That's like
and that
ridiculous.
Comes down to perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
And like using that as an excuse, and we have to talk about wages and stuff. So we'll get stats on that.
Yeah,
and all that.
We'll continue with more topics and more guests.
Hopefully, if any of you guys hear this and you've got, I don't know, you've got some knowledge on these issues, and hit us up, and yeah, maybe you'll be the
Yep,
next person on the show.
send us any opinions to our email, which will
And-
be posted on our Facebook page, Blunt Force Trauma Podcast.
And maybe topics that you'd like to hear.
Yep.
Where we're just contrarian, so something a bit extreme.
All right.
All right.
See you later, mofos.
And yeah, we want to take sponsors. Your company. Jokes out.